Hello, everyone. I hope everyone has had a very productive and prosperous Thursday. It is 9 o'clock right now. We are about to get started. I am very excited about the information I'm about to share with you today. I've been getting tons of questions, so I can assure you that if you are new to stock investing, you will learn something in this webinar that you'll be able to take forward starting tomorrow, actually, that will help you start to make money. Okay. So, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get started today. And I'm going to kind of give you a brief overview of what's going to happen here. I'm going to keep this at an hour. It is 9 o'clock, so my goal is to have about 45 to 50 minutes of actual content for you. We're going to have a Q&A at the end. For those of you who do have questions, make sure you jot those questions down. I will make sure I get to as many of them as possible. Also, make sure that you have your speakers turned up, take notes. This is going to be exciting. I'm not going to be dead and dry. And you probably think this is going to be dead and dry. It's not going to be dead and dry, I promise you. We're going to make this very interactive, but definitely make sure that you pay attention, ask questions, because I love to answer questions, okay? Let me tell you what we're going to cover today, okay? A great man once said, you begin with the end in mind. So, what I'm going to tell you what we're going to cover. First thing, I'm going to give you a quick background on me and my company, okay? I'm going to give you some live examples of my stock and option trading strategy. I'm a very simplistic stock trader. I keep things very simple, okay? Simplicity is the key, all right? And you're going to learn that. I'm going to talk to you about fundamental concepts and terminology. For those of you who are new to stock trading, you need to be familiar with the jargon. You need to know what a bid and ask spread is. You need to know certain things because they're going to be very important, okay, as you go in on the brokerage platform to know exactly how to place your stock trades. And when you start doing your research, you need to really understand certain terminology. How to grow a small account. Okay, those of you who have followed my Facebook post over the last several months, even over the last couple of months, notice that I started an account with $100,000. I grew that account up to about $225,000 as of about a month or so ago. It's been kind of fluctuating here and there, but I chronicled that growth. Okay. A lot of people get intimidated and they say, well, Jerry, I don't have $100,000. What do I start with? I'm going to answer that question for you today. I'm going to talk to you about starting and growing a profitable, a successful online business. Okay. This is really not directly related to the stock trading, but it is once you start to accumulate capital, okay, once you start to turn 5 into 10, 10 into 20, or if you decide to start a business, you need to have a place to invest that money so that you can begin to accumulate wealth, okay? And I'm going to talk to you about Financial Feng Shui Academy. This is my coaching program. I've done business consulting for a number of years, but I recently decided to kind of take this to individuals like yourselves who are interested in utilizing a lot of the tools, a lot of the knowledge that I teach my corporate clients and high net worth clients to actually begin to build wealth. Okay. So we're about to dive in, but let me tell you something. And this is one thing I want you to understand, and I really want you to keep in mind as we move forward. I need you to understand why you are attending this webinar today. Okay. I need you to understand why you're attending. Why are you here? Are you here because you need more time? Are you here because you want to do less work and make more money? Are you here for a better life? Or are you here to build a more solid foundation of financial security? You have to know why you are here. Okay. Once you know why you are here, you can proceed forward with that at the forefront of your thinking, okay? Because this information is going to answer and help you achieve one or all four of these bullet points, okay? So always, always, always do everything in life with purpose, okay? So why are you here? And I'm going to help you achieve one or all four of these bullet points today, okay? All right, so let me kind of give you some background about me because there's every Tom, Dick, and Harry online saying that they're a stock market expert and they've made $1 million and they've done this and they bought a house and they driving around in a rented Lamborghini or they living in a rented mansion and they're pretending like it's their house when it's really not. They just really have really good marketing. Okay. I'm going to tell you who I am. Okay. And kind of chronicle my knowledge because I didn't come out of my mother's womb knowing how to trade stocks. Okay. It is something that I learned. Okay. And so I'm going to tell you, I started when I was 20 years old. I was mentored by a gentleman by the name of James Willis in Texas. I was 20 years old. I was in college at the time. I remember very vividly. I had a college internship at Trustmark National Bank. One of my good friends, Langston Farmer, who's probably on this webinar today, who's a real estate investor today himself. He and I actually sat under James Willis, who actually retired from corporate America because he achieved so much success from trading currencies. That was my first introduction to making money in the market. That was my first introduction at 20 years of age. And I'm going to tell you what happened to me at 20 years old. I had about 26 or $27,000 at the time. I got caught up in that young, dumb mentality where I wanted to make money very quickly. I lost about $13,000 of that money. From that point forward, okay, I realized I need to start managing my own money. So I started learning over about a 3 year period. Okay. I was like a sponge and I soaked up all this information. I actually got recruited by an investment fund in Atlanta. It was a multi-million-dollar investment fund by the name of Knight Fox Holdings. And I got hired as a trader. I got hired as a currency trader. Okay. I actually had a full-time job at JP Morgan Chase Bank at the time. This was a part-time endeavor for me, but I learned so much from that experience and it kept going. I kept growing. And by the time I was 28, I started really between 23 and 28, that 5 year period. I got into business consulting. I got my first $1 million client here in Atlanta. You probably heard me speaking about that client on the video that you saw on Facebook. Young, early 30 something year old African American male here in Atlanta. Hired him, financial disarray, all of that stuff going on, helped him really reposition his business, helped him really achieve a lot of his success. I developed a knack for business consulting, financial consulting. By the time I turned 30, I went into corporate America. Actually, to this day, I'm 32 now. 2 years ago, I was offered a senior risk management consultant role, which is a role where I'm actually managing and overseeing risk for several $100 million of spend a year. Okay. So the markets are something that I actually eat, sleep, live, and breathe. I didn't just, I just don't do this to make extra money. I actually make my living. Okay, managing large sums of money, advising on large sums of money. You see my LinkedIn account there. Some of you guys may have pulled me up prior to the webinar. I'll tell you one thing: anytime I get on a webinar, I pull the person up. So I don't know about you, but that is my LinkedIn profile. CSM Bakery Solutions. I'm a market technician and a FX options trader. So I am the sitting market expert for them, and I have my own company. I do consulting. Have done it for a number of years, but I tell you, because of my experiences and because of the level of my experiences, okay, I've traded everything. I've made money doing everything, currencies, futures, stocks, ETFs, and options, okay? So I've done it all, okay? And that experience has really given me a different perspective on how to really view the market. I can see the market not only from an individual investor standpoint, because I've been there, I also see it from the standpoint of someone who has $25 million and actually wants to place a stock trade. Okay. That perspective has really helped me make a great deal of money. And that perspective is exactly what I'm going to help you understand today and something that you're going to be able to use to make money for yourself. All right. So let me just kind of tell you, I'm going to get a little bit personal with you. I am originally from Mississippi. You probably hear that in my accent. I know a lot of you guys are my classmates. I am from Mississippi. Where did all of this start? When I remember when I was a kid, I used to go get my hair cut. After I would leave the barber shop, I'd wait on my mom to pick me up from the library. I'd go to the library and I would read books on billionaires. People, how did they actually make their money? How do they minimize income taxes? How do they increase their investment income? What are some of the advanced strategies that they use? That fascination with that is what got me started. And it really started with Oprah. Oprah is actually my favorite person. I mean, she's always been someone that I've admired a great deal. But analyzing her wealth is really kind of what got me started on this path of really understanding how money works. So I went to school, went to the University of Southern Mississippi, got a degree in business administration, concentration, banking and finance. Okay. Then I went to Clark Atlanta University, MBA. Okay. But I didn't finish my MBA. That's a different story. The reason why, as you notice, I told you that I went to work for this investment fund. I got hired right out of my MBA program. Okay. So I really didn't have to finish. Lived in Atlanta, moved to Atlanta 2007, started working for JP Morgan Chase Bank. And I'm going to tell you, I'm leaving a lot of stuff out, but I'm going to tell you something. When you look at this entire collage, okay, on the screen, everything has not always been picture perfect for me. Okay. I have struggled. I've had my car repossessed before. I have been unemployed before. I've been there. I have been there. When I tell you, and I'm gonna tell you the most inspiring and the most grateful experience that I've had is in struggling, because when you've struggled and when you've been broke, therein lies your ability to appreciate money. Okay. So, in all of this that you see here, there's a lot of struggle that got me to where I'm at now, where I actually have a passion for helping people achieve their financial goals. And so that is what financial feng shui came from. And that is where we are today. All right, I'm gonna tell you something about me. A main ingredient to having successful clients and having a successful business is having people that you like and having people that like you. Okay. I'm gonna be quite honest with you. I am a country boy from Mississippi. I like to eat collard greens, oxtails. I actually did make this macaroni and cheese. When I posted this on Facebook, I had so many people saying, "Oh my God, how did you make that macaroni?" I enjoy cooking. I enjoy working out. I enjoy going out on Tuesday nights and having a nice margarita. Like going out having martinis, margaritas. But the bottom line is that you work hard, you play hard. Okay. You work hard, you play hard. Okay. That is how you really enjoy life, because no matter how much money you have, if you don't have a fervor, if you don't have a vigor that allows you to appreciate your success, you can have all the money in the world, you can have all the success in the world, and it won't mean anything to you. So when I tell you I am a regular person, I'm very active on social media. I like to have fun. I spend a lot of time with my friends and family. Those of you who are have not followed me on YouTube, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow me on Instagram. I have a reality web series called Financial Feng Shui, where you actually get to see me, okay, going throughout Atlanta and doing exactly what I said and what I say I do. Okay. I really enjoy it. So definitely make sure that you subscribe, follow, like, and you'll get a lot of additional updates from me and what I have going on. Okay. Now, here's what you heard me talk about. You heard me talking about the four enemies of wealth, which I think is so key. Now, we're going to get into the stock thing. Don't now just follow me. I promise you, we're going to get to the stock thing. But here's what I want to drive home. Okay. Here's the thing I want to drive home. Okay. Most people think, and I want to ask you a question. I want you guys to actually respond, because I told you, some of you guys saying you can't hear. Can anyone hear anything? And I want to make sure everyone can hear. Is everybody able to hear everything? I just got a chat saying that some people couldn't hear. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Okay, everyone. Okay, I think some people are having issues hearing. Um but yeah, we'll just keep going. Um but I hope everyone is able to really make out everything. Okay. Okay, great. Some of you guys can hear, some of you can't. So I'm going to pray and ask Jesus to make sure everybody hears everything. Jesus, please make sure everybody hears it that needs to hear. Okay. I think everybody gonna be fine now because I talked to Jesus. Okay. All right. So so here's the deal. We're gonna talk about the four enemies of wealth. Okay. Now let me ask you a question. Those of you who can hear me, and I think everybody should be able to hear me right now. When you take cold medicine, when you have a cold, let's say you have a really bad head cold. Okay. Let me ask you a question. When you take cold medicine, what is the purpose of you taking cold medicine? I really want to know. The you take cold medicine to do what? And I want someone to type it in, okay? Everybody type in, like, if you now it's really a trick question, but I want to see what everyone's going to say. If you have a cold and you take cold medicine, the purpose of you taking cold medicine is to do what? Okay. Well, I'm gonna tell you, it's to get rid of the cold, right? Wrong. The purpose of you taking cold medicine is not to get rid of the cold. You take cold medicine to get rid of the symptoms of the cold. The cold is still there. It is just a manifestation of the symptoms. So when people say that they're having financial issues, or they say, well, I have a problem with spending, I have a problem with saving, I have a problem with this, and it's centered around finances, it has absolutely nothing to do with the symptom. You still have the cold, regardless of the symptoms being there or not. So when it comes to the four enemies of wealth, I'm about to show you something that's really going to help change the way that you view how money works. Okay. Pride. We're going to talk about pride, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, but I think it's very important for you to understand that if you learn how to trade stocks, no matter how much you know about trading stocks, okay, if you have an issue with pride, you hard headed, can't nobody tell you anything, you don't want to listen, you know everything. If you have an issue with, you can't accept your reality, you don't live in your truth, you're pretentious. If you have an issue with pushing yourself to the limit, challenging yourself, moving yourself out of your comfort zone, and if you have an issue with self esteem, let me tell you something. You can know everything there is to know about making money. You can know about stocks. You can know about bonds. You can know about currencies. You can talk about real estate, do real estate all you want to do it. Let me tell you something. You will lose money just as quickly as you got it. The foundation starts with the mind. You have to humble yourself. You have to walk in truth. You have to push yourself out of your comfort zone, and you have to believe and actually accept the fact that you deserve more out of life. Otherwise, you'll always settle for less. Okay. So I want you to keep that in mind as we move forward, okay, in the webinar, because it is very important that the psychology, okay, be correct. Let me tell you something. What you're going to learn today is not something that you will learn in school. Okay. Formal education will make you living. Self-education will make you a fortune. You have to understand what you're about to learn today. You don't learn it in business school. You don't learn it in elementary school. Unfortunately, you don't learn it. You have to self-teach it. And I'm going to tell you something. Right now is the best time to become a self-directed investor because of all of the issues going on right now with President Trump, because of the technology that is available at your fingertips. You now have the ability to make 20,000, 40,000, a million, $2 million right from your own computer. You can do that. People do it every single day. You guys have seen me make $120,000 in 6 months. It is right there in front of you. The technology is there. This is a great time, and you got to learn how to leverage it. And what I intend to do today is to help you leverage technology and leverage the tools that I'm about to give you to begin to make money. Okay. All right. So let me tell you something. This is why most people fail at stock trading. Okay. And there's several bullet points of why people fail. You may say, well, Jerry, if I do everything you tell me to do, um, is everything going to still work out for me? And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give you the bullet points of why it may not work for you. Number one, you don't have a strategy. I remember on my Facebook post about 3, 4, 5 months ago, um, there was a discussion about Snapchat. And they were saying, well, why don't you buy Snapchat? Why don't you buy Snapchat? Why don't you buy Snapchat? And I'm like, I don't know anything about Snapchat. I haven't researched Snapchat. I don't Snapchat will not allow me enough information to make an informed decision as an investor. You need a strategy. You cannot treat the stock market like the casino. If you have this get rich quick mentality, then you're going to start making careless mistakes. You have to treat this like a business. You have to treat this exactly like a business. Otherwise, you're going to be running after penny stocks. And that's some BS, by the way. So do not waste your damn money on penny stocks. If a company's stock is worth pennies on a dollar, you don't want to deal with it. Don't do it. That get rich quick mentality would get you in trouble every single time. You got to invest in proper education and mentorship. Okay. You got to get out there and do the work. You go to school to get a master's or a bachelor's. You got to invest in your education. You got to spend time on your education. You got to make sure you're focused. Some people jump around. They go from real estate, they want to do stock trading, then they want to do penny stocks, then they want to do multi-level marketing, then they want to recruit you to be in their Avon, then they want you have to be focused, okay, on one thing at a time. Otherwise, you'll be all over the place, okay, and you won't be making any progress. You got to stay focused and you got to be committed to learning this if you really want to learn it. If you are an emotional person, you will not be successful at stock trading. Period. You have to. Do you have the stomach? Let me explain to you what I've seen. Do you have the stomach to sit there and see $100,000 go up to $150,000 in 3 months, and then in 1 month go down to 135,000 or 120,000? That takes a certain type of mentality and a type of focus. You can't be emotional or else you'll be on a constant roller coaster, okay, when it comes to this stuff, okay? You got to know how to manage your risk. You're not going to be right all the time, okay? If you have a problem with losing, then you cannot trade stocks, and I'm going to tell you why. It is not about you losing money. It is about how much you lose versus how much you win, okay? That is very, very, very important. It is about how much you lose. And I don't mean how much in terms of the number of times. I'm talking about if every time you win, let's say you make $5,000, but the times that you lose $1,000. It doesn't even matter that you're wrong more than you're right. You're still going to be profitable. So you got to know how to lose. And so for all of this, for this reason alone, for these reasons alone, turning $5,000 into $100,000 might be simple, but it is not easy. Okay. You gotta have your mind right. You gotta make sure your mentality is correct. You gotta make sure you're trained properly. And when you see me turn 100,000 into 225,000, I've been at this for over 10 years. I'm 32 years old. I've started doing this when I was 20 years old. Okay. So I'm gonna really help you accelerate the learning curve today. So what I want to do now is I'm gonna play a compilation of the videos that I created over the last 6 months and I'm going to show you from the time that I got into Facebook and dominoes and all those other stocks, option trades, to the time that I actually realized my profit potential. I'm going to show you, okay? You're going to see it. And then after the video is complete, I'm going to break down every single thing that I did because a lot of you ask, well, how did you do that or why did you do that? So I'm going to play the video for you, okay? And then after the video, I'm going to break everything down for you, and then you're going to have a very clear understanding of why I did what I did, okay?
Is make a quick, very, very quick follow-up video to my Facebook post that I made earlier today, where I showed everyone where I went in and bought Facebook stock options, because Facebook is trading at a low right now, and it is indeed a temporary low. From looking at the price chart here, you see that Facebook has been in a very strong uptrend since 2013. It's been bumping up against the trend line, but for the most part, Facebook is a very bullish stock. Analysts are expecting that Facebook will trade somewhere between $150 to $180 at some point in 2017. In addition to that, there's a technical bias here that favors additional upside movement. From looking at this particular pattern here, I see that the stock is consolidating, and what that essentially means is that the stock is pausing before it goes up further. No stock goes up all the time, and no stock goes down all the time. Stocks move in usually a zigzag pattern. They move in wave-like patterns, and so whenever you have a bullish, very strong momentum stock, the way that you take advantage of those up moves is you buy the dips. Because I understand option strategies, I understand how to really enhance my returns through the use of stock options. Instead of buying the stock, I use the stock options to enhance my return. Facebook's earnings have been exceeding market expectations for several quarters now. Facebook's growth has been in the 30-40% per year range. There's really absolutely no reason why Facebook stock won't at least touch about 150 next year. Based on all of those above factors, and based on the fact that I see a technical opportunity here to really buy in at this 115 level, as you can see today, it's 115.10. I loaded up on $27,000 worth of Facebook stock options today, as you can see there. This is down $1,500, but that's because when you buy stock options, there's commissions that come out of that purchase. So my actual, I'm not actually down $1,500. That takes into account commissions, and I started this account with $100,000. So what I intend to do is to show you how, with a proven strategy, with persistency, and with a kind of a will to succeed, that you can actually take a small amount of money and you can really turn it into a large amount of money. I spent $27,000 on Facebook stock options when the stock was trading at this yellow line right here, which is about the 115 level. I kept buying Facebook stock options all the way up to about here. As of now, my Facebook stock option, my Facebook profit is $23,195.06. I have since that time added Domino's Pizza and Weight Watchers to it. I'm going to show you what Weight Watchers looks like here. Oprah Winfrey owns 10% of Weight Watchers stock, okay? And she also has options to buy another 5%. Facebook is, this stock has a very similar pattern to Facebook. As you can see, it's moving in this zigzag pattern here. I spent about $7,000 on Weight Watchers. Analysts are expecting that Weight Watchers will trade somewhere in the $25 to $28 range, which is more than double what you see here. Right now, Weight Watchers is at $12.23. It's down a little bit, but you got to be patient. Patience makes you a lot more money than greed does. So I'm okay with waiting, because That same patience has made me about $23,000 on Facebook. So I started this account with slightly under $100,000 on December 1st to be exact. Since December 1st, my net profit is $54,953. My profit since January 1 to March 1, which is today, is $62,367. Weight Watchers, Facebook, Domino's Pizza, and Dow Chemical are all in profit. And I'm going to continue to watch these positions grow in profit.
Basically, that was me chronicling kind of what happened. I wanted everyone to kind of see, for those of you who did not have not been following my stock trades over the last several months. That is exactly that's what's transpired. So what I want to do now is I'm going to break down everything that happened. Okay. So if you notice something, if you really kind of paid attention, you notice every time you saw me with my stock chart, I drew a lot of lines on the stock chart. I'm going to explain to you why you need to draw the lines and what those lines actually mean. So basically, you can see 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, these are the places where I actually bought stock options. I spent about a total of $39,230. I bought at 1, 2, 3, and 4. So basically, here's the thing: anytime a stock is moving in your favor, you buy more. You don't sell it just because it's profitable. You keep buying, okay? Because that's how you increase your profit. So I bought at 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I bought the stock options. I didn't buy the stock. I bought the stock options, and I'm going to explain to you why I bought the stock and not the stock options and not the stock. And I'm going to explain to you what stock options are and how they work. My profit as of the time that I actually took the screen capture of this was about 35,272.56. Okay. Now, you guys know that I added some more to that position. At the time, this was at $141 a share. Since that time, I actually going forward, I didn't record this part. I actually added Domino's Pizza. I bought right there at the red circle. I wrote that up. And I spent about 17,000 on that. And I made about $6,300 on that as well. Okay, and then Weight Watchers has been a very good one. I bought at the number one circle there. I spent about a little under 10,000 on that, and my profit as of the date of this, and Weight Watchers right now is $27 a share. Okay, so Weight Watchers is more than this now, but at the time that I did the screen capture, I made about $7,400. Now you may say, okay, well, Jerry, I don't have 10,000, I don't have 30,000, I don't have. Let me explain something to you. It doesn't matter how much money you have. All you gotta do is take a zero off. So, for example, if you only had $958, all you gotta do is just take a digit off, move this decimal point over. You would have made $741. Okay, so don't allow the amount of money that you see to intimidate you or make you feel that, oh well, I can't do that because I don't. You don't need the amount of money I had. I could have did the same thing with $5,000. Okay, but the bottom line is it doesn't matter how much you have. It just matters about the strategy that you're using to make the money grow. Okay, and if you can do that with, you know 5,000, you can do it with 50,000. But see, because I've been doing it for so long, I can take 100 and turn it into 120 or 130. Okay. So when you look at this price chart, what do you see? Now this is where I'm going to show you my strategy. This is where you're going to actually learn my strategy right here. When you look at this price chart, what do you see? Well, you probably see a whole bunch of stuff going on. You see the candlesticks here. You see the up and down price movement. Let me tell you what I see when I look at this chart. And this is what you have to do when you look at this chart. Now, you see the blue areas. There is something called support and resistance. Okay. Stocks do not move randomly. They might look like they move randomly. Stocks do not move randomly. They don't move randomly. History repeats itself. Now, let me explain something to you. Let's just say, for example, you were here, and let's just ignore everything. I want you to ignore everything to the right of this. Ignore this. What I want you to start doing, and what you have to start doing, is getting into the habit of identifying patterns on the chart. Once you draw your horizontal lines, the horizontal lines help guide you to the areas on the chart where the stock is most likely to turn. So when I look at a stock chart, the first thing that I do is I identify the support and resistance zones, because it gives me an idea of where that stock is probably going to turn. Let me tell you something. This, okay, is actually Facebook. This is Facebook from back in 2016, January of 2016. If you had drawn these support and resistance lines on the chart, okay, you would have been able to buy Facebook at about $97.01. Now let me show you how reliable this is. Look at this blue right here, okay? Now, let's say you go forward in time. I could tell you with about a 90% certainty that as the stock moves forward in time, the next time it falls back to this level, it's going to bounce. And you see exactly what it did there. When it came down to this support level, it bounced. But watch this. It dropped even lower. But what did it do? It bounced up. Why? Because over here, it did the same exact thing. So institutional investors, this is what they use. It's not magic. It's just that when you have very large investors with, I'm talking about 20 million, 30, 40 million dollars. This is what they use. They use support and resistance. My corporate client places trades 10, 20, 30 million dollars at a time. And this is exactly what they asked me, Jerry, where's the support and resistance zones? So if you know how to identify support and resistance zones on the stock chart, then you are actually playing on the same level as an institutional investor. Now, I made a Facebook post about Amazon. And what I want to do right now is I'm going to show you a recent example. The example that I just showed you is an older example from Facebook. But what I want to do now is actually show you a recent example, okay, from Amazon, and how support and resistance plays into that.
All right, so here is the live trading example section of the webinar, and I want to show you exactly what I mean, and exactly what you need to look for on a stock chart. Once you learn how to set your charts up correctly, okay, and once you learn how to navigate your brokerage platform, this is the type of stuff that I want you to look out for. About 3 days ago, okay, today is 6/12. Okay, our webinar is on 6/15. Okay, so 3 days from today. So by the time you see this, this will be 3 days old. But nonetheless, it will be very valid. The senior or the chief equity strategist of Goldman Sachs indicated that tech stocks were overvalued and that they were due for a massive correction. Okay, that caused a major sell-off in all of the tech stocks, and that is pretty much all of the tech stocks are a part of the NASDAQ index. So those major holdings are your Facebooks, your Amazons, etc. Those stocks sold off big time on Friday. Okay, you can see here that Amazon went from $1,012, okay,
and 99 cents, all the way down to the low of $927 in one single day. Okay. What you look for on a stock chart is a major sell-off, and you need a major sell-off that is confirmed by a major support or resistance level. A major support or resistance level is a price level that has a high probability of causing the stock to either change its course going up or change its course going down. In this particular case, when you see a major uptrend like this is what's called a support level, because this is a high probability when the stock reaches this level that the stock will in fact reverse. This is called a support level. This is what's called a hanging man candlestick. Whenever you see a hanging man candlestick in conjunction with a support level or resistance level, this level was considered a resistance when the price was below it. It is considered a support now that the price is above it. Once you see a support or resistance level and you see that level being confirmed by what's called a hanging man candlestick is a candlestick that looks just like this, and it creates a long tail. And when it comes down into that level, it basically bounces back up. Okay? This is a daily candlestick. So whenever you see this, this is screaming buy, 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 buy. Let me show you an example how reliable this is. What I want to do now is come out to a weekly time frame. Okay? Remember I said resistance and support. This is a resistance level as long as the price remains below it. It is a support level once price trades above it. As you can see, when the price broke up here and it came back to this level, which corresponded with this resistance level here, what happened? The price bounced back up. Okay? And this is extremely reliable. Even if you go out to the monthly time frame here, look what happened. The price came down to this level. Okay, it bounced up, did the same thing here again, came down to this level, bounced up. So once you learn how to set up your price charts and you identify specific candlesticks, specific patterns, you can very accurately pinpoint when to buy or when to sell a stock. This is a picture perfect example of what you would look for on the stock chart. Now, obviously, Amazon is not going anywhere. Okay, investors have a tendency to overreact to news, and it tends to spill over into the price of really good companies that should not be trading lower than what they are trading, but because investors are spooked, that creates an opportunity for you to get in there, buy really good companies like Amazon, okay, and you can ride this stock for the next 3, 4, 5 years or more, and you can make a great deal of money just by being patient.
Basically, when you look at your stock chart, what you want to do is you want to draw your horizontal lines. That's the first thing you want to do. And the second thing you want to do is identify the trend on the longer term time frame. And in this particular case, you could see here, support and resistance is extremely reliable. As you move forward in time, all you have to do is know what the stock did previously. Where did it turn previously? For example, it turned at D here. I know that the next time it comes down to this level, it's going to bounce up. And see what happened there? It bounced up. It comes down, it breaks below the support line. Okay. It trades in a trading range here. It comes up, it breaks above. And then what does it do? It rests exactly on the same. Look how many times this touched this line. So if you don't know anything about the stock, if you can identify these levels on the chart, okay, then you can consistently consistently make money. I mean consistently. Now, you still want to make sure that you do your fundamental analysis. You want to go ahead and research, if it's a good company, you want to look at earnings, you want to look at profitability, you want to look at growth, and I'll explain to you how to do that. But once you've done all of that research, you still have to know where to buy, where to sell. So support is the level at which buyers take control over the prices and prevent them from falling lower. Okay. And resistance is the opposite. It's the level at which sellers take control over the prices and prevent them from moving any higher. So think of support as a glass floor and think of resistance as a glass ceiling. So when you look at a stock chart, once you set your charts up, all you got to do is identify those support and resistance levels, set your risk, enter that trade, and treat it like a pot roast. Treat it like a pot roast. If you cooking a pot roast, you coming in from church, you set it and you forget about it. And I promise you, when you look back at that thing, you'll be amazed at how much money you can make just by being patient and identifying those zones. Look at volume. What happens is that when you see a lot of volume, whenever you look at a stock chart and you see these lines down here, this is telling you where all of the buying and selling activity is happening. Okay. And once you learn how to read your candlesticks, you'll know the difference between volume and quality volume. Okay. And volume will tell you when a stock is about to take off. Okay. That's the main reason why you want to understand what volume is. Again, once you learn how to read the stock chart and read the candlesticks, remember I showed you about that long tail on that candlestick, you'll be able to determine volume. Now, you guys have probably watched the news. You heard about the indexes. When they say the market is going up or the market is going down, what they're talking about is one of the four major indexes: the S&P 500, the Dow Jones, the NASDAQ, and the Russell 2000. All stocks in the U.S. are grouped into one of these three indexes. And these are the main indexes because the most amount of money flows through these indexes. Okay, so when they're saying, oh, the market is up by so many points or whatever, they're talking about these indexes, and all stocks fall into these indexes, or most stocks fall into these indexes. Now, you have the Hang Seng Index, which is in Japan. You have other indexes, etc. for Europe and what have you. But in terms of the largest indexes, this is what they're referring to. Okay. Those of you who actually register for the training program and really want to go a bit further into this, we can, but that's kind of the general premise of what you need to know when they're saying the market is up, the market is down. Now, once you get in, you're ready to actually start buying stocks. There's certain terminology that you need to be familiar with. This is essential. When someone says they're going long, that means they're buying shares. When they say they're going short, that means they're selling shares. Now, once you go in on your brokerage platform, there's going to be some order types: a market order, a limit order, a stop order, and GTC and day orders. Okay, this is basically how your broker will execute the transaction for you. Don't get confused by it right now, but just understand that when you push buy, there's more than one way to get into a stock. You don't have to just push buy. You can set it up so that the platform automatically enters and exits orders for you. BTO and STO are when you're opening and closing orders. Okay. So once you get in on your brokerage platform, you're going to see a BTO and STO: buy to open, sell to open, buy to close, and sell to close. So this is how you get in and out of stock trades. Okay. All right. Now, when I talk about stock options allow you to enter and exit stocks at a fraction of the cost. Okay. So when you buy a call option, you can actually basically what a call option does, and you guys probably, what in the hell is a call option or a put option? basically think about it like this. Let's say you want to buy a share of Facebook. Share of Facebook right now is say $150. Okay. 100 shares of Facebook, it will be about $15,000. So you would have to spend $15,000 to buy 100 shares of Facebook. Well, catch this. You can buy a Facebook stock option for $1,500. So basically, you can control 100 shares of Facebook stock for a fraction of the cost, for 10% of the cost that it would have cost you to buy the stock. Okay, so when you see me turn 100 into 223, I did that using stock options. You can do that using stock, but it would just take you a bit longer to do that. Okay, but if you know how to use stock options, when the stock is going up, you can just buy a call option. Okay. When the stock is declining, you can buy a put option. In other words, you can make money if the stock is going up or if it's going down. I don't care if a stock is going up or going down. I can make money. Okay. If that's a part of my strategy. And then you have your strike prices and expirations. And so basically, the bottom line is that there's more than one way to skin a cat, but you got to understand exactly how to do that and the tools that you can use and options, not just the stop, the options will help you do that. All right, so here's some important terminology. When you go in on your brokerage platform, you're going to see things like open interest, volume, expiration, strike prices, bid price, the ask price, the lot size, the field price, the net change, percentage change, the open, high, low, and close. At the very beginning, I told you there's some important terminology that you need to familiarize yourself with. Okay. In my training program, I'm going to break all of this down for you. Okay. So don't think you got to remember all of this to go out and start taking advantage of it, because I'm always available to answer questions. But the bottom line is that when you go in on your brokerage platform, a lot of you probably don't even know how to open a brokerage account. So the whole purpose and the reason why I created Financial Feng Shui is for those of you who actually are very serious about doing this. I'm going to break everything down to you so that when it's time for you to go in and do this on your own, you'll know what all of this stuff means. You'll know what all of this stuff means. You don't need to know what everything means all the way down to the when did it start, how, what it, you don't have to know it at a deep level, but at least when you see it on your brokerage platform, you need to have some idea of what it means, because a lot of this stuff is going to be what you use to go out there and place trades on your brokerage platform. Okay. So don't get overwhelmed by that, but it is definitely something that I want you to know and understand when you go in on your brokerage platform. Now, when you saw my stock trading example, okay, if you look over to the right, you can see a list of stocks. You can create a watch list. Okay. Basically, you can tell the brokerage platform, hey, I have 5 stocks over here I want to watch. And you can add them to the watch list. The reason why you want to do that is because if you don't create some sort of system of tracking, you'll be all over the place looking at stocks. So the purpose of this is to tell you, you kind of focus in on what you need to do, what you need to look at. You can pick the best companies. I will always say, look, if you eat Domino's pizza, if you have Comcast or whatever, focus on the companies whose products and services you use. Keep it simple. Don't make it complicated. If you are a person who uses a specific product or service consistently, add those stocks to your watch list and go out and start researching those companies. Then set up your stock chart, draw your horizontal lines, identify your support and resistance zones. And then now you have a list of stocks that you can keep watching that you can begin to start making money from. I'm going to explain to you what exchange traded funds are. Let me just explain what this means, okay? If Donald Trump decides to bomb Syria, or if the United States gets into a conflict with North Korea, you can buy an exchange traded fund, an ETF, that allows you to make money off of all the military stocks at one time. Okay. So you can make money off of an entire sector by using ETFs. Okay. So if something is going on in the news that is detrimental to an industry or to a sector, you can actually make money off of that. And that is what ETFs, and you can add ETFs to your watch list, okay? And you can actually begin to trade ETFs just like you trade stocks, and you can make a great deal of money from ETFs. All right. Whenever you go in on your trading platform, when you start trading stocks, I'm gonna tell you something, limit your risk. Okay. You don't risk all of your money on any one stock transaction. You limit your risk. You have to make calculated risk. Calculated risk is the game. It's about the amount of capital that you risk on any one trade. Okay, how many trades you have at any given time. If you notice on my trading platform, if you looked at my video, you guys noticed that I really had the same exact stocks for like months. I didn't really add anything. I added dominoes and Weight Watchers, but I didn't really do anything in between. Okay, because of number one, it helped me manage my risk, and number two, I like to keep things simple. Don't make it a job. Keep it simple and manage your risk. This answers the question of, okay, Jared, what if I lose? Well, if you only risk a certain amount, let's say you have $10,000 and you risking, say, $500 on that particular stock option or that stock, well, you know the most that you can lose is $500, but maybe the most that you can make may be $1,500. Okay. So that's what you call a favorable risk reward, okay, scenario. It is about setting a reasonable amount of risk, okay, on any particular transaction. So what I want to do now is show you, and I'm going to kind of fast forward to my results. And I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to be quite honest with you. I want to, a lot of people make this stuff really complicated. It's not complicated. I'm gonna be quite honest with you. I can buy three or four stocks and I don't even look at them for a year or 2 years. Okay. And you notice, or stock options. I don't even look at them. I buy them and I forget them. Okay. And I'll tell you that um, I got my account balance as of this particular screen capture was about $226,000. Okay. And I'm going to tell you something. The only thing that I did, I promise you, is exactly what I showed you. I looked at the support levels, the resistance levels, and I entered the trade. That's it. I didn't do, I did the research. Researched the earnings. I did all of the fundamental analysis. I looked at the management setups of the company. I looked at sales growth rates. I looked at profitability. I looked at all of those. I did all of the analysis on those elements. But after I did that analysis, all I did was I drew my horizontal support and resistance lines on the chart and I placed the trade. I have a friend of mine. I don't manage money for people, but I have a friend of mine who she wanted to have me manage an account for her. I blocked out her name on this account. But the reason why I wanted to show you guys this account is because one of my friends told me, and I told him I was about to do this webinar. He said, well, uh, I don't know if people would really understand this stock thing because you have so much money in your account and everyone doesn't have 100,000. So I just said, okay, I'm gonna show you a friend's account. So this account started with $5,000, okay, and in about from 131 to 5, so in about 4 months, I basically doubled her account. So basically, what I'm trying to say is that, like I told you before, it doesn't matter how many zeros are at the end as long as you have a strategy and you execute that strategy. Which what is the strategy I just said? Support and resistance. Once you identify the support and resistance zones on that chart and you execute consistently on that, this is what happens. This is what happens. Okay. I've done this time and time again. So I want to let you know it doesn't matter. Some of you guys get three, four, $5,000 tax refund. You could take a tax refund, and if you knew this, every single year you could take $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 and put it aside into an option strategy, a trading strategy, and you could have double, triple, quadruple that money. So let me sum everything up for you guys. It's getting kind of late here. I'm going to wrap this up, but I want to make sure you understand the processes of going from knowing nothing about trading to actually making money. The very first thing you got to do is build an educational foundation. You got to educate yourself. There are tons of online resources available to you. If you want to kind of go out there, do your own research, you can do that. But that phase is always, you see, that phase is present along the entire curve. You never stop learning. Once you get to a point of being comfortable, now you have to start practicing. You can open up a virtual account with your stock trading brokers, and they will allow you to practice your strategies. And what that does is it helps you to test and get comfortable and learn from your mistakes before you risk real money. Now, once you get into the live trading phase, you can begin to enhance your skills and you can become much more advanced and you can become more confident. Now you can advance and you can start to grow and you can start to build your account and turn 5 into 10 and 10 into 20. And now you have the ability to be confident, just like I was several months ago, and know that you can pretty confidently turn $100,000 account into $200,000 to $300,000. So what I want to do now is show you how to grow a small account. The first thing you got to do is stop focusing on making money. I'm not saying you need to lose money. What I'm saying is focus on perfecting your craft and getting really good at trading. Focus on drawing your horizontal lines. Focus on doing that, consistently identifying those patterns, and trade that account like it's $1 million. Okay. I want you to get really consistent with your horizontal lines and drawing those on the chart. And I want you to learn how to use stock options because stock options allow you to take a very small amount of money. By the way, that $5,000 account I just showed you, I did that using stock options. Okay. You don't have to use stock options. You could do it with the stock, but again, the main thing here is that you gotta learn first by just practicing, and then from there you can get more advanced. Now, what I want to do now is for those of you who have asked me about starting a business, growing a business, I want to give you the formula for $1 million business. I've helped several business owners do this. So if you are interested in starting a business, okay, because once you start making, maybe your path is starting a business and maybe you want to take your business income and you want to start doing different investments in different stocks. And so I want to kind of talk to those of you who maybe have businesses and maybe kind of want to use that as a tool to start to using to start to go into investing. What you want to do is you want to build a sales funnel. Okay, exactly how I got you to this webinar is exactly what you need to do. Maybe you have a cooking business. Maybe you have a clothing business. Maybe you have maybe you do sew-ins. Whatever that business is, you have to create a sales funnel that creates awareness and it converts those individuals into leads and leads into prospects and prospects into sales. There are systems that will do this for you. Okay. There are systems that will do this for you. And in my coaching program, I'm actually going to show you guys exactly how to do it. I'm going to break all of that down for you. So, really, I really wanted to make this complicated because I felt like if I was oversimplifying it, you guys would be like, well, is that it? Yes, that's it. That is exactly how I made 6 figures in 5 months. Okay. Really, really, really focus on everything that you learn today. Um, this opportunity may or may not be available to you again. And I'm not saying I'm not going to be available. I'm just saying you never know. You may have a kid, you may get married, something may happen. And the fervor and the passion and the drive that you have to learn it now, it may not be there. Okay. So so what I want to do now is talk to you about financial feng shui really quickly and kind of go through kind of the structure of my coaching program for those of you that are interested in being trained. And there are about 8 modules in the coaching. Okay. You're going to learn about general market information, historical facts. We're going to go into more detail. If everything I said sounded Greek, you're going to be a damn near expert. You're going to sound like an expert when you're talking to other people about this. You're going to learn about the power of compound interest, setting up your brokerage account, the importance of paper trading, and creating your watch list. Okay. In module 2, I'm going to go over the stock market fundamentals. This is going to show you how to do the analysis on the stocks. You're going to learn about ticker taping symbols, going long versus going short. I'm going to go in more detail. I'm going to go into more detail on order types. I'm going to talk about price and percentages. How do you calculate what your profit's going to be if the stock reaches a specific level? I'm going to talk about exchange traded funds. I'm going to go into more detail on that, and market volatility. Okay. In module 3, I'm going to talk to you about the importance of charting. I'm going to show you how to read a candlestick. You remember I showed you that long tail on the chart and how I knew the price was going to react at that level. I'm going to show you how to read candlesticks, what they mean. I'm going to show you how to read a stock trend, and I'm going to help you understand support and resistance at different levels. Okay. And then in module 4, we're going to talk about money management. We're going to help you better manage your risk in the stock trades. We're going to talk about risk to reward profile. We're going to talk about developing a successful trader mindset and keeping a journal. In module 5, I'm going to talk to you about the principles of stocks, how to buy and sell a stock. You're going to learn about how to go in on your brokerage platform, how to open your brokerage account, how to place your first trade, the relationship between stocks and options. We're going to talk about selling puts and calls and the importance of paper trading. Okay. And then in module 6, we're going to talk about advanced technical analysis. I'm going to show you some advanced chart formations and patterns. We're going to talk about moving averages and volume. Okay. And then this is where I'm going to show you how to make money with stock options. You're going to really not only learn what an option is and how it works, you're going to learn all of the components of an option and how to use it. And then what we're going to do is go into module 8. I'm going to show you how to use those components to actually make money. Okay. You looking at my stock chart, it may not make a lot of sense to you, but I can assure you that once you finish, if you choose to go through the in-depth training program. And the reason why I created this, guys, is because, and gals, is because I get so many questions. And if I spent my time answering the number of questions that I get on stocks, I wouldn't have time to do anything. So what I did was is I created this training program so that for those of you who want to go into more detail, you're going to be able to ask as many questions as you like, and you're going to get hands-on training from me. And then module 9, we're going to talk about planning for success. I'm going to help you stay focused, give you some tools and some things that you need to help you long-term be successful. And then here's some bonuses I'm going to give to this first group. Okay. Okay. One of the things is I'm going to have monthly coaching calls. You're going to probably have about 4 webinars a month. Okay. And I'm going to go really deep. Okay. Because my thing is, I really want you to go and I really want you to make money. This is what I do. I teach. Okay. So I am invested in your success. So we're going to have monthly coaching calls. Okay. In addition to the 8 modules that I just showed you, you're going to have monthly coaching calls. We're going to talk about actually starting your business. So we're not just going to talk about stocks. Okay. I'm going to touch on how to build a successful online business. I'm going to show you from the marketing to the sales funnel creation to the optimization of those sales funnels and actually all of the systems that you need to put in place to actually create online income for yourself. This is a year-long training program. Okay. You cannot learn. I think it's so unfair for someone to uh, create a program and say, okay, in 30 days or 60 days or 90 days, there you go, have a good day. No, this is a 12-month trading program. You're going to earn as you learn, okay? Because when I get into a stock trade, you're going to get into a stock trade. You're going to see me make money. And then what's going to happen is once a year, I'm going to have a financial feng shui success event here in Atlanta. Okay. So as you guys start to have success creating your online business, making money from your stocks and your options, I want you to start to come and share your success stories with others that may be new to financial feng shui. Again, I am invested in your success. I'm gonna tell you, there's a trading academy called Online Trading Academy. They charge about $5,000 for the same information. Okay, I'm not gonna charge $5,000. I just really think that's kind of trifling to do that. So it's not gonna be thousands of dollars. Again, this is only for those of you who are interested And this is for this really for this first group. I cannot keep it at 297, unfortunately, because if I kept it at 297, I would be overrun with people. So basically, for those of you on this webinar, I'm going to allow you to get into the year-long coaching program for 297. Okay, yes, it is 297. I know, right? 297. Um, but it's only going to be okay for a certain amount of time. And here's another thing I will say to you. I don't mean to curse for those of you who don't curse and those of you who are saved. Y'all probably don't like cursing and stuff. Um, Money talks and bullshit walks. So here's what I'm going to do. For those of you who actually come into the program and you actually go through the training process, I'm going to give you a money back guarantee. So basically what that means is that if you go through this program and you do everything I tell you, the way that I tell you to do it, and you do not make money, I will give you back your money. And that's just point blank and period. I will do that. I stand by what I do because I really, really want you to be successful. And for those of you who are serious about this and you really want to build up your finances and you really want to build a portfolio, I feel like you kind of need to be confident that that person is invested in your success. So for me, I'm gonna put that money back guarantee on there because I want you to go out and say, hey, this is something that has helped me, and I want you to do it too. And I want you to really be confident that somebody's not full of shit talking to you. Okay. Um, so what I'm going to do is I'm really about to open this up for questions. I know it's getting kind of late. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open it up for questions. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have this available to everyone. Okay. For until Saturday. Okay. So those of you who are interested and taking advantage of the training that I just mentioned to you. I'm going to allow you to do that until Saturday. You can click on the join now button to the right, and it will open up a separate window for you. Okay. And you can still keep the webinar running in case you have questions. You can also visit my website. So let me take a few moments here to answer some questions that does anyone have any questions that they would like to ask before we end tonight? Okay. All right. So, yeah, I mean, I really hope that tonight you have learned something that will benefit you. If you've just learned at least one thing, I think that, it would really, I really have done my job. I really have done my job, and I hope that everyone here, um, you know, and you don't have to join the training program if you feel like you've learned something that you could use, go out and use it. Go out and use it. Some of you don't know how to even open a brokerage account. Okay. You may want that training. Others of you, you may already feel like you know what you need to know, and maybe you just kind of want to use this to enhance your existing knowledge base. Okay. And that's perfectly fine. Okay. But for those of you who really are interested in kind of growing and learning and using this to really accelerate your wealth, I really want to give you the opportunity to get the hands on training. We're going to have a lot of fun for those of you who come into the program. We're going to have, like I said, monthly webinars. We're going to have events here in Atlanta. You're going to be able to come to um, my office here in Atlanta on Peachtree Street. You're going to be able to meet others like yourself from all over the country who are actually making money from the things that they're learning. And that's really, I think, going to add a sense of validation to you. Again, like I said, you got a year to try it out. And I stand by that. And I know, and the reason why I can say a 12-month guarantee is you're going to make some money. I mean, that's just bottom line. You're going to make money. Okay. If you do everything that I'm telling you, you are going to make money It just comes down to how dedicated you are to learning the information, and how much you really, really, really are hungry for the knowledge that you're going to gain over the next 12 months. All of the webinars that we have throughout the year will be we have a membership site. So for those of you who actually sign up tonight or Saturday or whenever you sign up, you'll have immediate access. Okay. Well, somebody said you have I hear, good to hear a Southern accent. Okay. Well, okay. Well, I wish I heard your accent. I'm assuming that you're not from the South based on what you just said. Um, but for those of you who, what we're going to do is all of the webinars that we have throughout the month on the membership site. There's a membership site. So once you pay, you're going to have a link. Click on that link. It's going to take you right into the section where you create your username and password. Once you create your username and password, you will go right immediately. You have immediate access to the membership site. Okay, so there's no waiting. You pay tonight, you get in there. There's a ton of information in there. We will be having our first webinar for those of you who join 2 weeks from today, because I want to give everyone a week to kind of get through the modules, digest the information, and formulate your questions so that when we have our first webinar, our group webinar, for those of you who actually are become members of Financial Feng Shui, I can actually know where I need to focus my attention. Okay, so those of you who sign up, there's 8 modules. It's 3 hours of information. Okay, it's a lot of information, so definitely take your time to digest it. So right now, like I said, I'm done talking. I will, I guess, let those of you who have questions, I will let you ask your questions before we end tonight. Let me look at I think some people are asking. I think Selena. So now you guys, I'm actually kind of new to this webinar stuff, so now I can't invite you as a speaker. So if I invite you as a speaker, are you able to speak? Okay, because I'm trying to open up the email thing here, and it's tripping on me. So just bear with me. You guys know how this technology stuff can be and everything. So let me see what Selena is trying to say here. Selena, I'm gonna open the floor up to you. Um, so I'm gonna let you see if you can say anything. Okay. And by the way, if we don't get a chance to actually you know, if you don't get a chance to ask your questions tonight, reach out to me on Facebook. Okay, reach out to me on Facebook because I'm you guys know, a lot of you know me, some of you don't, but even some of you who don't know me know that I'm very responsive to questions. So even if you're asking me a question now for whatever reason I don't get to you because of the technology issues, um, I would say try to type it in the chat box and I'll try to get to it. If not, make sure that you um, go ahead and send me a IM and I will make sure that I get to your question. All right. All right, everyone. So I know you guys know there's a little bit of a delay. Let me see what these questions. I think I'm look over. Okay, sorry, Google just knocked me out. I will. Okay, he is he is cool too, Toya. Okay, Toya, I love you too, Toya. Uh, but I will be joining. Okay, Daniel, I got you. Selena will email you Will you email the slides? Well, Selena, I don't know if I could email the slides because the reason why is because I'm going to be doing this. This webinar is actually going to be running. But I promise you that if you have some additional questions, you can just IM me, send me a message on Facebook, and I will answer. And then Daniel asked, what days will the modules happen? The days will be Thursday. I will try to keep them towards the latter part of the week, like Thursdays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, or Wednesdays and Thursdays. I'm gonna try to make sure. I'm gonna probably ask those of you who join what days will work best for you, and I'm gonna try to make sure that it's agreeable to everyone's schedule. Justin asks, how important is looking at earnings for companies that aren't focused on making profits at the moment? Well, that's the thing. Here's the thing: when you're looking at a company, don't invest in a company that's not making money, because if you invest in a company that's not making money, you're speculating. Okay, that's the same as gambling. Okay, so here's the deal: invest in a company where the fundamentals and the technicals line up. If it's a fundamentally sound company, then you invest in that company. If it's not a fundamentally sound company and the technicals look good, maybe say for example it's in an uptrend, the company's not making money but it's in an uptrend, you draw your horizontal lines and it looks like you're supposed to buy it. No, you don't buy that company, because who's to say that it will turn a profit? Invest in companies that are profitable and that are have positive earnings outlooks. Okay. Let's make some money. I hear you, William. Venus, can I access the join link after tonight? Yes. What's gonna happen is everyone on this, I think what I would say for you, I'm gonna actually type in I'm gonna keep. I would say what you would do. I think probably the best thing for you to do is I will put the link back up for those of you. But what I would say is you could just click on the link and it will open up um, the order page for you. It'll be on a separate tab. Okay, but you'll still be able to be in the webinar. Okay, but yes, you can, because what's going to happen either way, um, you guys reach out to me on Facebook. Reach out to me. I will send you the order link. Those of you who are on the webinar, I have your information, so I know you were here, so you'll still be locked in at that price. Okay. All right. Thank you. You're welcome, Miss Debbie. Thank you so very much. Venus, I'm going to vend my science kits this weekend. I would use, I would use the. What about small stock? What about with stocks that are $50? Well, I don't really know what your question is, but if it's a stock that's $50, then you just take your capital and you divide it into 50, and that tells you how many shares you can buy. But even if it's a $50 stock, you'll still be able to control more of that stock with the stock options than you would by buying the stock. Because if it's a $50 stock, how many shares of that stock do you need to purchase for before the profit even makes any difference? You need to own, hundreds of shares before it even makes any difference. Cryptocurrency, I don't know anything about cryptocurrency. I've heard about it, but I only invest in things that I know about. So I've heard about cryptocurrency, but it's not my area of expertise, and so I stay in my lane, as they say. What is the key to remaining focused when you are dealing with stocks? The main thing is that when you here's the thing about remaining focused. If you turn on the news, you're gonna hear you may hear 5 million different things. You're gonna hear this on this news channel, this on this news channel, this on this Instagram feed, this on this Facebook feed. When you remain focused, what that requires you to do is you need to tune out all of the noise and focus on the strategy. Focus on your analysis and the strategy, because when you start to listen to other people and other information, it could cause you to get off track and lose confidence in your strategy. Okay, so you don't want to lose confidence in your strategy. You want to make sure that you stay focused on the tools and the information that I just gave you, and use that, the support and resistance levels, etc., to make your decision. Scott, can I use Scott Trade platform? You can use any brokerage platform you like, but Scott Trade is expensive. I recommend eOption in the training program. I show you my eOption platform. They're very inexpensive. The thing about using, and this is another thing, when you start with a small amount, like three, four, $500, you're going to lose a lot of money because every time you push buy and sell, it's going to cost you $5 or $6 in commission to buy and the same amount to sell. Okay, so you don't want to use a broker that's expensive. I recommend you using eOption, or you can research discount online brokers or inexpensive online brokers to help you save a little bit of money um, on commission. Okay, Houston, Texas, Louisiana. Dang, that's real though. Okay, well, everyone, I'm gonna put the link up for you. Anyone that has any additional questions, I don't want to, and I think the offer should still be up to the right hand side. I wasn't. I told you guys I'm still just learning this webinar stuff, but because I didn't even know it was still up. But yes, those of you who want to join, go ahead and click through. Once you join, um, I'm going to have all of your information, so you'll automatically be on the webinar invite list, and I will also send you emails, okay, letting you know and updating you on our webinars, okay? So don't worry about that. Once you check out, you automatically are in the system, and you will receive an email over the next couple of days. Like I said, I'm going to give everyone a week, okay, to get through this. So we'll have our first webinar. And I'm looking at the date here. It'll be 2 weeks from today. So spend next week going through the modules. I'm going to be available. If you have any questions, Facebook, you can go also to the website, info. Actually, you can go to support at ffsacademy.com. So once you join, once you pay your fee, down to the left hand side, there'll be an email address, so you can email me your questions, anything that comes up between now and the Thursday after next. Make sure you send me an email, and I'll make sure that you get the understanding that you need. I think that's pretty much it. I thank everybody for joining. I'm gonna say this to you before we go here tonight. We're actually going to have a referral program for those of you who are members of Financial Feng Shui. You're going to be able, I'm going to actually give you 50% of whatever registration fee or whatever tuition is paid by anyone that you refer. That is only going to be valid for those who join Financial Feng Shui. So we're going to have that program available here within the next week or so. So that's going to be an opportunity for you guys to make a little bit of money as well as learn the stock market. I feel like that's only fair. If you have a church group, if you're a member of fraternity or sorority or whatever the case might be, um, if you have 5 or 10 people, or if you have your uncle, you barbecuing on the 4th, and you have a family full of people that really want to learn what you're learning, um, I want you to get in and get confident first, okay? Because I have to earn your confidence before you send somebody else to me. But once you get in and you're confident, okay, then I want you to, hey, uncle, if you feel like your uncle can benefit from it and they're really trying to learn and grow, refer them, and I'll make sure that you can make money on top of the information that you're going to learn about stocks. Okay, so that's just a nice little freebie and gift that I'm going to give to those of you who join Financial Feng Shui. The recording of this webinar will be available. You'll be emailed that. Look, I hope everyone has a blessed night. I'm tired of talking. I need to have a drink before I go to bed. And I ain't talking about water either. Okay. Okay, I'm just playing. But anyway, thank everyone for joining. I hope everyone has a blessed evening. Again, don't forget, reach out to me on Facebook, email me, and I look forward to seeing those of you who join in Financial Feng Shui. We're going to make some money together. You're going to grow online business together, and you're going to be bragging to a whole bunch of people, and I'm going to be like, no, it's $900 now. Okay, so so yeah, so go ahead, take advantage of it within the next 72 hours. Hope everybody has a great day. Be blessed, and I will see you guys on the other side.